Hello everyone, welcome back to Beards, Bourbon, and Games. I'm your co-host Conquer Corey, and we may have Mike.
It's retro time!
That's right. In this video, we're going to show you how to set up RetroArch in developer mode. Nah, I'm just kidding. We're going to do it in retail mode. So, a couple things to note about this is, I'm not aware of anyone who got banned for doing this, but we are using a store exploit, so that's all saying this just to say proceed at your own risk. So this video is going to show you a little bit of how to set that up. And the good news is you can save that $19.
Now you tell me.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to our applications and we're going to open everyone's favorite web browser, Edge.
What?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And once you open Edge, you're going to navigate to this URL here. You'll know you have it correct when you see Rick Gasly doing his thing there. That's right. You be you, Rick. Keep doing it.
I'll never give you up. I'll never let you down.
So once you're to that page, we're going to scroll down to the Gamer 13 App Store. And then you're going to click Download App. This will actually bring you to a Microsoft Store webpage that you cannot access publicly. And from here, you'll just download and install the application. So as you can see, I've already downloaded and installed it. So,
Going in the back door.
oh yeah. Next, we're going to open up our apps and games. This is located under apps and not games, as you can see there. So we'll open the Gamer 13 App Store. And from here, we have some options. At the top, you can see we have Dom's Discord. They have a Twitter, Patreon. Feel free to join that Discord. Really great group of folks. They'll help you out with configuring this stuff. But under emulators, we can see we have RetroArch, PPSSPP, and DuckStation. So this video is going to focus exclusively on RetroArch. And under here, we do have some tools such as Durango FTP and Moonlight if you want to stream your PC games from your computer to your Xbox if you have an NVIDIA graphics card. So we're going to click on RetroArch, click Install. It's going to take us to another store page. And we're going to download and install that. Now note, you can't access these apps through the public store page. You have to use these URLs to access the links. After you download your emulators, you'll definitely want to download Durango FTP that we're getting ready to show here in a second. Now, I did show you that little musical icon thing. That was just to disable music on this. It does have a little theme song to the App Store. So that is a quick FYI on that. Here's Durango FTP. Definitely install and get that. Now, I already have an earlier version, so I just kept it. But this is really handy because this will let you easily transfer files from your computer to your Xbox, which is going to save you a lot of time in this process. Just going to show RetroArch off just a little bit here. So as you can see, I already got mine set up, but RetroArch looks just like it does in developer mode. You can see I have a lot of my games already loaded up. And you can adjust the settings just like you did in the developer mode. The only difference is you don't have to go into the separate dev mode. You can actually launch it from within your retail mode. So it saves a lot of time, frustration. Now we're going to move to the setup. So once you launch RetroArch, go to the main menu and go to Online Updater and click Update Assets. That's the basic one you have to use. What I did is I kind of ran the other ones too, just to make sure everything's up to date. But Assets is the big one. Next, I'm going to go to Settings and go to Input, and I'm going to scroll down to Hotkeys. Once here, we're going to select the Menu Toggle Controller Combo, and just select the button combination here. What this is going to do is it's going to allow you to quickly exit out of your games without having to hard close RetroArch and reopen it. So it's going to save you a ton of time when you're jumping back and forth between the games. If you're like me and you have what I like to call gamer's block, where you go through your entire game library in 30 minutes, can't figure out what you want to play, comes in real good handy. There's also a fast forward toggle option. I just let it time out here because I realized I ran out of buttons. I didn't know which button to use on my controller. But if you figure that out, that will be really great for those JRPGs that take forever.
Oh my god, that'd be great. Let us know what you use.
All right, so now we're gonna go back to home and we're gonna prep the files for our Xbox. So we're gonna open the Durango FTP app here, and basically it has a port. Leave it the same, username, password. You can leave it the same if you want to. Just make sure you're on a secured network, or make it a complex password. And one thing I want to point out is the addresses of this device. That right under the Xbox.local, that is your IP address. That's very important to write that down because you're going to use that to connect to your computer. Once you're ready to start the FTP, just click start and it'll be running. So now we can download our favorite FTP client, such as FileZilla or WinSCP, and you can connect to your Xbox to drop files. So I'm using WinSCP here. So as you can see, I put in the IP address of my Xbox, the port number, the username, and then when I click login, it's going to have me type in my password. What I did here is I saved mine, but just keep in mind if you have if your router, which everybody pretty much does, assigns an IP address, note that IP address could change. So just be sure to check your Durango FTP app to know what IP your Xbox is currently using. Okay, so over on the right, we have our file structure for our Xbox, and on the left, you have your local computer. So one thing I want to mention is I recommend actually using a flash drive for this process to store your ROMs, and we'll include a link below with a link to a really good flash drive to use to store all your ROMs. So all the flash drives typically get assigned to the D drive. Yours might be different on your Xbox, but I think most of them have been D each time you use one flash drive. So what I did is I made a folder with all the systems, and I put all my ROMs in those folders. Next, I'm going to focus on how you can prep your folders for your PS2 emulation and your Dolphin emulation, which is GameCube. So for PlayStation 2 emulation, we want to visit this website, pcsx2.net/downloads. And now we want to go down below the stable releases, and we want to download the portable version of the most recent release. At the time of this video, it is 160. Once you download that folder, you will need to extract it. Keep in mind that if it downloads in a 7C format, you will need to download and install 7-zip to extract that archive. Once you extract the folder, we're going to open that folder. And in that folder, there's a PCSX2. I keep mixing that up. Executable. Click and run it, but then just close it. The reason why we're doing this is when you launch the application, it creates all the files that we need to create for the RetroArch core. So now what we're going to do is we're going to copy all the files except for the PlayStation PCXX2 EXE, and we're going to create a PCXX2 folder on our desktop, and we're going to copy everything to it. Now here you see where I'm actually dropping a BIOS file into the BIOS folder. We cannot tell you where to get a BIOS. Officially, you pull it from your console, but Google is your friend.
Release thou inner Google foo.
Now I'm going to navigate to my RetroArch folder, and it'll look a little bit like this file format. And we're going to go to the system folder, and we're going to basically take that PCSX2 folder that we created on our desktop with all those files, and we're going to copy them over.
Any day now.
Yeah, I was really struggling there for some reason.
It's hard to click and hold.
So what I did here is I copied them over directly, but we also have a guide too that we're going to include in the link below for your reference. Now we're going to move on to Dolphin. So we need to visit dolphin-emu/downloads. We'll include a link below in the guide. We're going to download the most stable recent beta version. I forget they don't have stable versions, they have beta versions. And we're going to do the same thing we did with PCXX2. We're going to download that folder, extract it. So in that download folder, we're going to have a SYS folder. So what we need to do is we're going to do the same thing we did with PlayStation 2. We're going to create a dolphin-emu folder. We're going to put it in our RetroArch system folder directory, as you can see here. And we're basically going to copy all the files from that sys folder over into the RetroArch system folder.
Until you work in IT, yeah, you circle around things and move up and down. It's across the board. I feel like all IT guys do that.
All right, now that we got everything set up, we got our games loaded. Next, we are going to go to RetroArch and we're going to import our stuff. So first, I'm going to manage cores and I'm scrolling down to the PlayStation 2 core just to make sure that RetroArch is detecting my BIOS from a PlayStation 2. And you can see it does say present required PS2 BIOS folder, and that's all based on that RetroArch system folder. So I was just checking a few things here to make sure I kind of had all the prerequisites filled out, because if RetroArch does not detect that BIOS folder, your PS2 emulator will not launch. It just won't work. You'll get a black screen, it'll crash, or RetroArch will lock up, and you'll have to go to the home screen. Now we're going to go to import content, and we're going to do a manual import, and now we're going to select our directory. So I'm going to pick my D drive, which is my flash drive. I'm going to pick the directory that I want to import. In this case, I'm going to import my Game Boy Color games.
Such a good system.
It is. So many good games. Once we're in that directory, we're going to click scan this directory. Then we're going to go to system name. And this is optional, but it's mainly for sorting. So what I'm doing is I'm scrolling down and I'm selecting Game Boy Color as the system. Next is a very important step. We're going to pick which core we want to use. So there's a lot of different cores. My recommendation is doing a little bit of research, find out which one will fit your needs best, because each one plays, some play certain games better than others. Now, Game Boy Color is pretty standard across the board. So I picked the Gambit core. Yeah, right. Next, we have scan recursively. Recursively. I'm probably saying that wrong. I know I am. If it's enabled, it scans folders within folders. And scan inside archives is useful if you have a bunch of zip folders with your ROMs. So if you enable that, it'll scan inside those zip folders. Once we have everything set, all we have to do is hit Start Scan. If you can navigate correctly, it'll say Scan Complete. We're going to back out, and there is our Game Boy Color game list that I imported.
Legal Gaiden. I can't believe the game is so expensive.
So basically, you'll repeat those steps, and then to launch the games, you simply just click the game like you saw me did there. You saw me did
that.
As you've seen on the screen there. So this is Pokemon Crystal Clear. It is a ROM hack. It's a really cool ROM hack, but basically just gonna, for the rest of the video, we're gonna showcase how the games play, just do a little sample size. But definitely let us know what you think. Did you find this video helpful? Did you have any issues along the way? What games were you trying to emulate? And would you like to see us emulate certain games? If there's a game that you're curious if it works well, we'll gladly do an update video of just showcasing some games that we've set up on here. Okay, Mr. Mike, have you been paying attention? There'll be a pop quiz after this video.
Crap. Girl was taking a nap.
But this really this is kind of revolutionary for the Xbox because it not only is backwards compatible for some of its titles, it's backwards compatible for almost every console previously.
Yeah, I mean it's freaking cool. I mean it just goes to show you that if PlayStation wanted to do backwards compatibility, they could. But that they've got to get out of that mindset of, oh, people just want to play current gen games on their consoles. No, they don't. Retro games are hot right now.
And I will say this too. We went to Segi recently, and I saw some of these games, some of these older games now that no one has because their copies just stopped working. They're stupid expensive, like really expensive.
It was crazy the cost of things. We were trying to track down Resident Evil Gaiden because it's one of the ones that we don't have for the collection. And the only copy we found was an open copy, and it was what, $2,000?
Yeah, it's not even that great of a game.
No, it's not. And I was like, no. And I thought Segi prices were actually relatively good compared to like a lot of the places I went to locally or even online.
Well, yeah, Segi's the place you go to get a deal, but man, even there was like Mega Man X3 was like in a crappy case was like what, $600?
Oh, they're crazy expensive. They're so hard to find.
Mm-mm. So next we're going to do a little bit of Dolphin emulation, and just kind of showcase it a little bit. After I get done, going through my menus because I just love to cycle through menus like crazy. So this is a game about a certain hunter of occupations in space. And as you see, I'm really trying to stress the emulator out and just like make things pop up on the screen.
Well, this is that Framus Baron game.
Yeah, it's a strong woman goes to space, shoots aliens. That's the name of the game. Totally. But as you see, it plays really well. There are a couple of stutters there, and I did hit a weird issue recently, where going in the morph ball, sometimes the emulator would crash. But as you can see, it's mainly playable here. I think you could finish the game in this state. Just save often.
This is important too because GameCube games are one of those ones recently that have skyrocketed in price. I know me personally, I've been wanting to collect a lot more GameCube games. It's like, all right, well, it's double what it used to be cost-wise. So this, you can actually get some of those old rare games and actually play them.
Yeah, and just Nintendo being Nintendo won't re-release them.
Right.
So as you can see here, what I did is I actually pressed start and select because that was my combo, and this is the menu that pops up. So all I have to do is click close content, and I can go on to the next game.
After you play around in the menu again?
Yes, after I play around with the menu again. So this is Super Smash Bros. Disclaimer, do not judge me on how bad I am at this match. I haven't played Smash Brothers in years. And, I'm sorry, not Smash Brothers. This is Smash Guys. No, Crash Guys. It's Crash Guys. It's not, we don't have the license for Smash Bros. It's Crash Guys. But, as you can see, it took me a while there. Yeah, I finally hit him.
It takes skill to be that bad.
As you see, there are some stutters here and there, but it's perfectly playable. I would say GameCube is more stable than PlayStation 2, but the PlayStation 2 core is actually pretty good. There's a lot of my games that I can play on it. So, like I said, the big trick is though there's a little bit of that folder set up, and we have a guide below. So if you get, any questions along the way, follow in the video. Feel free to check out that guide with it because that guide kind of supplements it. Now we're moving on to PlayStation 2 emulation, and this is one of my favorites. It's kind of my guilty pleasures. It's Tony Hawk's Underground.
This game's a lot of fun.
It is. It's like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, only you create your own skater and make your own career, and I used to play it on the Xbox mainly back when I was in high school. God, I feel old now. And I would use the Xbox feature to play my music disc. Like, so I'd be jamming out the Linkin Park and Blink 182 and all those Hoobastank and
Oh man.
you know, all those.
God, we were so old.
But a really good game. If you've never played this, you just missed this generation. I recommend going back and playing it. It's a good game. It's held up really well for its age, and Tony Hawk was just a good era of games around that time.
And it wouldn't be complete without an Armored Core game from Corey.
That's right, Big Mex, man. Who doesn't like Big Mex?
I love Big Mex.
So, yeah, some Armored Core 2 footage here. You can see it plays a little well. There are some weird little visual glitches here and there. But the first stage played pretty good for me. And, you know, obviously I suck at it because I haven't played in forever. And, you know, and you're probably thinking, well, why? You know, Armored Core 4, you could dodge things easily. This was before they made the controls intuitive. Like, all the old AC games, the mechs pretty much maneuvered like tanks.
Yep.
Actually, no, they were on tank controls.
Yep.
So you didn't have highly mobile mechs. You had, you know, they maneuvered like slugs mainly. But great game. Definitely try it out if you haven't. You owe it to yourself to play these games.
The leader is headed your way. Take him out. So, you're just going to give up or what?
I suck so bad at that stage, and the guy was like, "You're gonna give up? You're almost dead." So leave me alone. I'm trying my best. Probably tried to finish him off in like a really cool way and like cut him with a blade, and it just whiffed. Got tired and finally just hit him with missiles.
Not bad. Your piloting abilities
You notice that he was like telling me, "Am I going to give up?" And now he tells me my piloting skills are impressive, even though like half my mech is trashed right now. And this one is Foxes in the Stars battery.
You know, I don't think I played this one.
It's actually really good. It's like the old Fox in the Stars 64.
Aim for Oikani's flagship.
Here we go!
I might actually play this one.
Hey, Snippy, don't get cocky.
Slippy, you've already got bogeys on your tail.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Ow! This happens because
But there's a lot of really good GameCube games that, you know, you may not necessarily have access to anymore. They may be hard to get. One that I wanted to put on here, but it's just way too long, is Custom Robo. Custom Robo is a great game. And it was too long to put in the video. We would have been here about an extra 30 minutes, me trying to get through the intro stage.
All right, hit them hard and don't hold back.
But as you can see, Dolphin plays really, really stable. It's just processing power. Now you can do this on the Xbox One as well, but it's not as good. Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know down in the comments. But let us know what you think, and if you want to see more videos like this, check out our channel. But as always, I'm your co-host, Conqueror Corey, and we'll see ya.
Take this, Fox. It'll replenish your shields a bit.